Happy Friday, everyone. So riding the GS to work today. Like every day since I bought this bike, I'm not riding anything else. Big change today. Well, I've actually had them on for a week now. Took off the Metz Karoos and put on some Shinko 804 805s. Yep. Lower cost Korean tires on my GS. Actually, there's quite a few reports on YouTube that they work pretty good. So we'll see. So far, they are hands down better than the Karoos on the street. Or are they? We'll find out. Got to go over that mountain. Let's go. Well, I think it's going to be a warm one today. 67 degrees this morning already. I think it's supposed to get to 90 something. I know it's hot all over the country right now. So you know, I'm sporting my Chinese mesh jacket today. eBay. You know, I've looked at a lot of jackets, and in the past I run Alpine Star, Joe Rocket, Tourmaster, several different, middle of the road brands, not expensive, not cheap. And I looked around for a mesh jacket for this season. Of course, I looked at Climb, and I looked at some other MRC, and holy cow, they're just, I can't do it. They may be the greatest thing on the planet, but I don't know. This jacket I have on supposedly has CE armor in it. If not, you could always change it out, right? But the construction is actually really good compared to my Tourmaster and Alpine Star stuff. Obviously I haven't jumped off the bike at 50 miles an hour yet, so I don't know how it holds up during a crash. But just looking at it, the textiles, the way it's sewn together, things like that, it looks like it's coming from the same Chinese factory as, a lot of gear that's sold with other names. This jacket was $50. $50. It's got some really nice features that higher cost jackets don't have. It definitely has waterproof pockets, waterproof zippers. It's got this clasp at the neck that is spring loaded, so it expands and contracts. It's not too tight around your neck. It flows air really well. And at $50, I could have a new jacket, what, every year for 10 years and still end up spending less than one Climb jacket. That's just not computing in my head. I'm sorry. Maybe they, like I said, maybe, these $700 mesh jackets are amazing, but unless they do some things other than, be a jacket, they're not worth $700. No freaking way. So anyway, yeah, so I'm sporting an eBay Chinese made mesh jacket. I'll put a link in the description. It's a good jacket. I'd buy it again. In fact, if I can find one small enough, I might buy my wife one. The sizing seems okay, and yeah, it works. So the change in tires on the GS, the bike came with Metz Karoos3s, and I didn't really put them to a serious test off-road, but I do some off-roading now and then, and sometimes on the way home I'll take a shortcut, which involves coming down a dirt road on that mountain right there. So yeah, I do some off-road stuff. I don't just commute. Commuting wise on asphalt, those Karoos3s just weren't hacking it for me. They were extremely loud, and I mean like Motage Tractionator desert loud almost. which if you're familiar with those, you'll go deaf riding your bike with those on your bike. And the handling on pavement that either has grooves or tar snakes, and you'll see what I'm talking about, because my route to work has been under construction for, I don't know, over 2 years, and some of the road is in pretty bad shape. It's, you know, it's being ground up and grooved and repaved, etc. So these tires, the way the grooves are on the outside edges, not these tires but the Karoos, the way the grooves are on the outside edges, I will insert a picture here. These two rain grooves basically being almost lined up like they are causes crazy tire snake wandering or uneven pavement. I mean, like, you almost feel like you're going to crash, but I know you're not, but it's bad. It really is bad. I noticed on the new Karoos, they shifted this whole block probably that far, right? So this block on the new ones is sitting here now, and this one's down. So that staggered this section of it a little bit better. But yeah, these things on the street, guess which finger that was. Notice how the Shinko 804-805s, that line is not basically lined up like on that Karoo that I just previously showed. So you don't get the, you know, on the tar snakes with these guys. They tend to grab a hold of imperfections in the road. Like this little tar snake right here that's coming up. My handlebars would be all over the place going over that. And I'm not even joking. It was very unconfidence inspiring. I know the bike's just doing its thing based on what the tires feedback is from the road, and it's not going to fall over, you're not going to crash, but I don't want to ride this brand new BMW and have it handle like a freaking, I don't know, hell, actually my little Chinese bike handled better on the road with its cheesy Chinese tires. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be warm today. So I decided to try some Shinko 804-805s on this bike. I have them on other bikes, and I have nothing negative to say about them. The biggest negative that I see online or in reviews is on bikes with more power, or that is power enough to spin the back tire excessively. They tend to kick out left and right because of the tread design. Obviously our Versus and our Himalayan doesn't have that problem because they really don't have the power to be spinning tires in the dirt. So they work fine on those bikes. So it was a little bit of a gamble putting it on this bike, and I have yet to take them off-road. I just put them on. I probably have, what do we have for mileage here? As you can see, I'm running 39.9 psi. It's actually, I put 41 in it, so between my gauge and BMW's gauge, we're at 39.9. My gauge said 41. I put 35 in the front. BMW says, what, 35, 34.7. Pretty close. We'll see what happens when they warm up. But yeah, I put these tires on this past Monday. It's Friday. I've ridden to work a couple times. And I put them on at, I think, 2,000 miles. And we've got, what, 2,600? I'm scrolling through. Yeah, 2667. So, yeah, we'll be having, we'll have 700 miles on these tires before the end of the day, easy, because, hell, I'll have 700 miles before I get to work. And on the road, they're just like on my other bikes. They're like the perfect road tire almost. I'm impressed. They're smooth, they're quiet, they handle the twisties okay for a knobby, and yeah, they're working. We'll see how the tread wear goes. There's reports of the rear tire lasting maybe 4,000 miles on a GS, which, that's fine. I come from the sport touring bike world where 3,000 miles you need a new set of tires, so 4,000 works for me. And they're so easy to change that it's not really a big deal if they even lasted less than 4,000 miles. You know, order a new set, they're here the next day. I literally had both these tires installed probably right at an hour. I shouldn't say less than an hour. You know, my wife was surprised. I said, I'm gonna go put my new tires on. She was like, okay. I think she was playing her game. Her Disney Dreamlight, whatever it's called, Dreamlight, I think, I don't know. And she came out to the garage to see if I needed any help, and I was cleaning up. She's like, what, you're done already? I'm like, yeah. So, easy tire to put on. Easy bike to work on in regards to changing tires. This bike is, I was surprised. Yeah, so we'll run them and see what happens. I'll report, you know, how many miles I get off them. And maybe this weekend I'm gonna go up to the OHV and just to see how they feel in the loose gravel that we have here. We have, Southern California has a combination of loose gravel and deep loose gravel sometimes, and sand, along with deep sand, and then hard packed with rocks, and then sometimes a combination of all three with baby head rocks everywhere, you know? It depends on how rugged you want to get. So we hardly ever have straight up dirt, you know, the dark brown soil rich dirt that turns into slippery mud, although the mud here is slippery out in the desert. I think there's an element of clay involved, and when it gets wet, it's pretty snotty. I don't know how well these tires handle mud, but mud isn't typically an issue where I ride. There's no rain, so no mud. Basic math. Anyway, yeah, in the future I'll report on how well they hold up on the road, how I feel about them about half tread life, and how they work off-road. I have a feeling they'll be just fine. Right now, the answer to that question, are these better on the road than the Karoos? Absolutely, 100%. And I'll keep the Karoos for spare tires in case, you know, I find myself out of money and needing some rubber. Because at least I have some tire there that I can wear out with earplugs in. But, yeah. Anyway, speaking of money, so obviously this video is on YouTube. You're here, you're watching it. And obviously some people make a little bit of money off of YouTube. Some people make a lot of money off of YouTube. My channel's not monetized yet, so yeah, I don't make any money off of YouTube. So everything I do is strictly out of pocket. Just putting the information out there for people. Hopefully soon, you know, YouTube has this criteria where you have to have, I think 1,000 subscribers, and in the last 365 days, you have to have amassed 4,000 watch hours. So that means, you know, people needed to watch the content that you put out there to the point where it equals 4,000 hours worth of watch time. And for someone starting, I mean, that's a pretty significant goal. It's obtainable, obviously. You look at this good success of people on YouTube, but it's not easy. I didn't really get serious about putting content on YouTube to try to get some decent watch hours. Probably October of last year, November, and you know, we're amassing some hours. Eventually, we'll meet the criteria for being monetized, and we'll see what happens. I know my channel, you know, you're supposed to have a niche, right? YouTube likes that. That way they have a way to direct people that search for things to your videos. I mean, you know, a person searching for how to replace handles on his cabinets in his house might search for DIY or something like that, and a channel like mine could pop up because it's called Mikes Projects and Hobbies. Well, DIYs, projects, they're kind of similar, right? And then he would get, or she would get to my page and see nothing but model trains and motorcycles and go, what the hell? So you're supposed to have a niche market, or a niche, your channel is supposed to be focused on, I guess, one thing. I kind of didn't really want to do that because I'm not a one thing kind of person. And I guess you have the option of, you know, having more than one channel if you want, which I might do, because, and I need you guys' feedback on this, especially if you've made it this far in the video. I know I have a group of guys that like to watch trains. I've been doing train videos for quite a while. Model trains is my hobby. It's relaxing. You know, I get to do the artistic expression and all that good stuff, and I just like it. I always have liked it since I was a little guy. Got my first train set, Lionel train set, back in the early 70s or late 60s, and I've kind of been hooked ever since. It's been a long time. Yeah, so as a kid, you know, trains, RC airplanes, stuff like that. So yeah, my first content was, well, actually my first content was games, because with my boys I was pretty heavy into Xbox Team. So if you look back, way back, you'll see there's some Call of Duty videos, there's some World of Tank videos, there's, yeah, video game content. My very first video, I think, a long time ago, might be my first day on my ST1300. I brought it home and was practicing doing figure eights in a small parking lot with my daughter on the back. I miss that bike. You know, you always have a bike or two that you're gonna say, I miss that bike, and that's one of mine for sure. That's a great bike. Can't believe Honda quit making it, but yeah, that's another discussion. Today is just a vlog. We're riding along and we're talking, and hopefully someone's listening. If you made it this far, thank you. That's one thing I would like to do, is thank everyone who has subscribed and watched my videos and got me to this point. It's, you know, it's an interesting ride for the past, actually, year. It's where things started to pick up. But anyway, let's go back to where I asked that if I could get your input on this, because I know that I have a group of guys that watch motorcycle videos. I have a group of guys and girls that watch the train videos. Maybe going forward I should make a model train channel on its own. I might do that. I can't do that yet because I'm working towards monetizing this channel, and I would be worried that people may unsubscribe from this channel to go subscribe to that channel, and that would kind of goof me up. Once you've been accepted into the ad revenue sharing by YouTube, you know, you don't have to produce a video and get a minimum amount of watch hours, and or I don't think you need to maintain 1,000 subscriptions. So maybe after this channel is monetized, I can break off into other channels with specific content. You come here, I know a lot of people that view my channel are not subscribers, so, you know, I'm basically talking to the subscribers here, because subscribers do come back. I can see all those in the analytics, because obviously you click the bell, which is awesome. Click the bell if you're a subscriber, so you get notification that I've done something. You know, anyway, like I said, I can see that in the analytics part of it. And most of my videos are people that have not subscribed, and I think YouTube directed them to most of my video watchers anyway, are people that are not subscribed, and YouTube directed them based on a search, I'm thinking, or a what's next, or video, you know, the video that pops up suggested for you next. I think YouTube's put my video in a couple of those. So, and it even gets to the point as far as breaking down channels. I mean, I'll never split up the motorcycle channel because I think that's ridiculous. So this channel might eventually turn into a motorcycle slash motorcycle camping, you know, channel slash adventure riding slash dirt bike riding, just motorcycles in general. And I may make a model train specific channel in the future, and see if I can get something rolling with that, just for model train content. Or I could leave it all on one channel. What do you guys think? Would you is it upsetting to you motorcycle guys when you pop in and see a train video if you were notified I did something? Or does it matter? Vice versa, yeah. You train guys, you pop in to see a train video and oh look, it's Mike flapping his jaw on his GS again. Never mind. I mean, I'd like to create a channel where people get notifications and come and go, oh look, let's watch this, instead of, oh, he's on a bike again. I don't know what people are thinking. I don't have any feedback on that. So if you can, could you let me know your opinion, because opinions are good sometimes. So that was kind of a long-winded YouTube talk, but I wanted to get it out there, and so people could respond and comment and let me know what you think about splitting up channels and or keeping it the same, and or, you know, whatever. Let me know. I noticed that obviously any of the videos that have GS content, you know, like this one, which really this video isn't specific to the GS other than the beginning when I was talking about the tires, seems to be less popular than videos, for example, when I do a video on the Versus 300 that we had, that belongs to my wife, and or the Himalayan. The Himalayan, it seems to have a huge following, or at least YouTube thinks it does, and they direct a lot of traffic towards my Himalayan videos. It's not uncommon for, well, you can look at my Himalayan videos and see the views I get. I don't get, you know, hundreds of thousands of views, but I think most of my videos that have over 500 views are probably the Himalayan videos. The train videos do well too, for what they are. I know that's a smaller audience, but I mean, the train thing is something I enjoy doing rather, and I like making the videos, and I need to get a better camera for that. Right now I use my phone, and I try to use my GoPro, but GoPros are horrible in low light, and I don't have the right lighting in my train room, I don't think. I need to work on that. Also, another question to the viewers, you motorcycle guys: 360 cameras. Right now I have that guy just pointing at me. Let's see, I'm going to point at you. I don't have it in 360 mode. I just have it in regular GoPro mode. And I'm curious what you guys think about the 360 mode. I know you can upload a video where you can look around. My wife's went for a walk on the beach in Panama City, and that's a 360 video where you can look around and look at the beach, look at the pier, look at the shoreline, the hotels, whatever. That's kind of cool. I kind of like coming across those every once in a while on YouTube, and you know, it gives you a perspective of what the person filming actually saw. But what do you guys think about those on motorcycles? I know there's love and hate, and of course it really depends on the final product, right? How the person manipulates the video to show you what they want you to see, or what they think is cool to see. So lately though, I've just been using it as a regular cam pointed back at me, and maybe on the way home I'll try 360. I don't know, maybe I'll throw a little 360 in here. We can put it right here. the 360 video processing obviously just adds more time to the creation of the video. It's not a big deal. But I know a lot of people don't like it, and I've heard some people say it makes them motion sick almost when they watch it on their TV. I've never had a motion sickness issue, so I can't relate, but I don't know, it's kind of a cool perspective if done right. I think learning to do it right is the key thing, but you guys can chime in and let me know what you think about that as well. 360 videos, yay or nay? My wife kind of likes the format. We watch a lot of YouTubes that I'm doing right now, where I'm talking and showing you what I see, and then there's a camera mount on the bike that shows me occasionally, like right now. Depending on how the camera's made, I kind of like doing some 360 stuff. I think what is much cooler than 360 camera video is drone video. I mean, that really opens a whole new area of cinematography, right? I mean, that just, some drone footage is amazing. And if you can get the right software on your drone, or get the right drone, and it can track you. There could be a drone up in the valley to my right following me around right now, and you could be getting footage that way. Downside of that is if your drone crashes down in that valley, it's down there. It's staying there because we're not supposed to go over there. Would I go over there to retrieve a $500 drone? Maybe, depending on where it crashed. But yeah, I think drone footage is cool. I don't know if that's something, you know, I have time to learn how to do, or money at that point. They're not cheap. These GoPros that I'm using right now are gifts, so I don't have any money invested in those other than, you know, updating the firmware on this GoPro 7 that's on my chin, because this thing was nothing but a can of problems when I first got it. It would overheat, it would destroy SD cards, MSD cards. It would frag files. It was basically a piece of crap. It would suck the battery life completely bone dry in 20 minutes and overheat, and destroy all the videos on the SD card. It was just, everybody that's used a GoPro knows what I'm talking about. Until I went to GoPro's website and downloaded a firmware update, and they also had an update called The Fix, which was supposed to fix all the issues with the overheating and that stuff. And you know what? I don't want to jinx myself, but the thing's worked flawlessly since then. I just have, you know, a sequence of events I go through to make it reliable, and that's, I always, like today when I started, I put the SD card in, looked at it briefly to see what was on that SD card, and then I format the card every time. And then I power it off, pull out the battery, put the battery back in, turn it on, and it works flawless until either the battery's dead or you run out of SD card space. So now that GoPro, that 360 camera right there, it's been flawless from the get-go. I've never had a problem with it. It just worked great. I know people are migrating to the Insta360 cameras, but so far YouTube's working, or YouTube, sorry, GoPros are working fine for my YouTube stuff. Occasionally you see where it looks like GoPro video, you know, gets pretty bad with the frame drops. I don't know that it's the GoPro or it's the software that's used to manipulate the file. You notice it on everyone's videos. I try to run at a minimum 1080, 60 frames, and on that guy over there, he's 4K. Of course, the files are huge, but the video is so much better. Will I switch to Insta360s? I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any money invested in these. They were gifts. I see that dude every day. And I look at the Insta360 and it's $500 for one camera. Maybe not. You guys are probably starting to realize that I'm kind of a cheap bastard when it comes to certain things. Not the motorcycle itself, and not boots and not gloves. But a jacket like this, cheap jacket with better armor installed, if it fits and does what it's supposed to do, and it lasts 1 year, I mean, 50 bucks, come on. You can always take the armor out and put it in the next jacket. Helmets, I like to buy the most expensive helmet I can afford, but I want it not just to be based the decision on how much it costs. It needs to fit, it needs to be comfortable, and it needs to, you know, be a decent helmet with some certifications. Right now I'm running a Scorpion Exo modular helmet. I like it, it's good, and hopefully it never gets tested. Boots, I do buy okay boots. Notice I said okay, not expensive. I think I have Tech 3 motocross boots. I also have adventure boots, and today I think I'm wearing just my sport touring boots that I've had for almost 20 years. They're just so darn comfortable. I think they're Alpine Stars. I'll have to check. They're waterproof, and they've been through lots of rain showers. The motorcycle itself, though, and the gear on it, I try to, you know, buy what I can afford, because that is an area where you really do get what you pay for. The luggage on the bike, the crash guards, that, you know, stuff like that. I'm a seat concepts fanboy, but I don't feel that this seat needs to be replaced, so I'm not going to replace it. My Himalayan, the Versus 300, both our KLXs, they all have seat concept seats on them. Such a nice seat. Those guys do a great job. Highly recommended. So anyway, wow, we started off in sunshine and we came over to the coast and we got a little June gloom going here. Temperature dropped almost 10 degrees and it's a wee bit cloudy. So anyway, if you guys liked the video, give me a thumbs up if you can, subscribe if you can, it helps, and thanks for watching and thanks for sticking with me. Really appreciate you guys. You guys ride safe and I'll see you out here.